Now we're live. Okay. Now we are Gucci. I should do a going live notification talking about what we're going to do today. Bump, bump, bump. At everyone. AIs are taking over. Will you do your part to stop them? Mwahaha! Misleading information. Better get my stream link. Hey Zealous, how you doing? Yep, I'm doing the right one. Yeah, AI, right? Yeah. Perfect. And then send. Sweet. Okay, we're live. We're done doing lay it. I hope everybody's good today. Hey, what's going on? It's all right. Streambots is running. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, chat. I had to just get some stuff done and out of the way. And now it's good to go. I'm really actually excited for Monday's stream. So excited for Monday's stream. I tell you guys. Okay. Something weird just happened. My sticky notes just like all came up. Chew, is that you underneath a new name? Looks like you. Yeah, it is Chew. Okay. I didn't recognize your name, Chew. Sorry. Rebranded last year. I don't have good memory. Hey, Valperia, how you doing? Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. Ah, gotcha. Makes sense. Makes lots of sense, actually. So how was everybody's week? Was anybody up to anything productive? I hope you guys were, for the most part. I should pull this up. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday. Doing homework. Nice. Hopefully the homework's going good. Made 4 shorts this week. 2 scheduled already. Nice. That's really good. Astronomy. I can't talk. Words don't work for me. Fingers crossed. I'll be in a position to practice streaming next week. That's good. That's really good. We need that. We need you streaming. Words are overrated. Yeah. Imagine like only talking with just like your thoughts. That'd be so nice. You don't have to use words whatsoever. You just telepathy. Wait, no. Wait, is it telepathy? Wait, no. Wait. Which one? Which one's mind talking? Telepathy. I feel like it's telepathy. Suppose communication of thoughts or ideas by means of of other known senses. I know something. Shocking. I'm really thankful for your tips with the hashtags with shorts and Senpai. I've tried them for the last 2 shorts and it did working really well. Yeah, no, that's good. That's awesome. I've been experimenting with shorts. I kind of went like a little bit like out of the norm that I normally do. Let's see how well they actually did. I've also been doing an experiment lately as well, not using hashtags on my tweets. And honestly, tweet-wise, they have been doing pretty good. As long as you have good keywords, it's just as effective as hashtags. Sort of. Sort of. Like, yes and no. So, one thing I've noticed, let's pull up the whiteboard real quick. I had Twitter because I was checking it. Okay. So, this is what I kind of found. Jack, please stop being weird. Okay, so Twitter things I found. Okay, so if you are under a particular size or you don't have much of a following, Twitter, just like YouTube or Twitch or like whatnot, doesn't know who to send your content to, right? So what it does is by looking at your followers, it can determine who the tweets should go out to. That's one thing I noticed. Yes. And because my latest tweets kind of went like one thing I noticed, if I go to my latest tweets, so like this one, 109 likes from a couple of days ago. Hey, Evie. We'll get to that in a second. So the 109 likes, you know, not all of them are following me. Like look at how many people got served it, and like there are few that are following me. But there are so many people that aren't, right? And the people that aren't are still like people that do VR chat, are VTubers, so on and so forth, right? So that being said, because I have like a base of VTubers who follow me, Twitter's like, okay, well, there's a lot of VTubers that follow him. These are the keywords that are in the tweets. Because, like, Twitter does look for keywords. Like, they absolutely look. Right? So if you got some keywords in your tweet, of course it's going to go out to like people that are VTubers, like stuff like that, or your niche, your particular niche. But one thing I did notice when I was a smaller, like by every sense of the word, I am still like a very small Twitter account for the most part. But one thing I've noticed is when you first start out, and like it does help to get people who are in your niche / interested in your niche. Hashtags do help for getting your stuff out there. And then after, like, assuming on how much engagement you get, like, I should just keep my Twitter up, but like, it'll be easier than me just typing it in every time. But like depending on how many follows or likes you get, right, will kind of like determine on how well the tweet is doing, but like how well your audience is engaging and how much it should send that tweet out to other people as well, if that makes sense. But look at that. Like I went from, 80, 18, and then like my last two tweets where I didn't use any kind of hashtags whatsoever, 60 here with a whole bunch of views. And this one here, where is it? 6,000 views and again, no hashtags. So I think building up your initial base is totally okay. And yeah, totally okay to use hashtags. It's literally an algorithm. So if you have no followers, I'd say try to do this first. Get people that are interested in your particular niche, your content. Like say if your niche is Pokemon, right? Use hashtags that are related to Pokemon. Get those Pokemon followers to follow you. And then like once you get big enough, or like to a particular size, you won't need to rely on Twitter's hashtag system, and it'll just like get promoted by itself. AI is incredible. I agree. It's interesting. I completely forgot the name of the actual like title of the stream today. I better look at that. A bit nervous about this topic. You know what? Honestly, you shouldn't be. AI VTubers are the future. Let's talk about why. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you, Zealous, for grabbing that. Sometimes I just forget. Because like I'm talking about like like things I'm super passionate about. That's what I noticed too with the different sizes of content creators, VTubers that start out using a bunch of hashtags while big VTubers usually don't. Yeah. With how realistic AI voices are now, AI VTuber, we won't know who's real. Sort of. So let's, you know what? We could probably talk about this. Like we could jump right into it right now if you guys want. But the one thing I've noticed about AI everything, we kind of need to like talk about why AI is even a thing. Right? So I'm gonna like pull up some pictures real quick. And we're gonna have a little bit of I'm gonna mix in like a little bit of the discussion about art because I feel like it has a lot to do with it. The AI the thing is, the AI has to pull a lot of information. Like they're what people call dumb AI, right? Um, Actually, this is gonna be like uh, uh I was gonna actually make this into like a complete video going through the whole AI thing. Okay, and I just need one more image, or no, I need two more images, and then um and then we can like do a deep dive. All right. And what was the last one? Okay, right. Yeah, let's definitely not talk too much about what the AI did, because I think we all know what the AI did at like at the end of the day. But like what AI truly is made out of human laziness to make our job easier. And whoever donated to Starlight right now, like, thank you so much. $20, that's massive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I super appreciate that. You are a real champ. But throughout history, human society has evolved and changed. No, 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 you're good. Make a Pokemon. Don't worry about it. Is we've done things to make things a lot easier, right? That's what it is. So if we go to like the start of mankind, right? This is kind of like where we started in our history. Cave painting, stuff like that. You know, using our clubs to hit our competition, to our spears to hunt down animals, right? And how we told those particular stories was with charcoal or blood or whatever, and we would like put it onto a wall. But as our stories got bigger and more complex, we had to find out and find a way to tell our stories more efficiently. And honestly, we still wanted to keep the image aspect so people could like visually see, like not only visually see, but like read and whatnot to see what happened, right? So we go from caveman writing on walls to a time period of where we're using multiple colors, but we're carving this into stone. So we went from very childistic ways of doing art to more to a lot harder way, but our stories would stay around for thousands and thousands of years, right? Yeah, from 2D to like basically like 2.5, right? But this was more of an efficient way to tell our stories to our descendants for the most part, right? This one right here, it was like one or two people in your village. This one right here, it was your priests and monks that really did this. But all these were super, super time consuming, right? this was, I would say, way more time consuming than chiseling this out, right? We were able to mix colors and paints, and we had the tools at this particular time in our history to do this a lot quicker, right? Where this one, you kind of like, supplies were pretty sparse, right? So hard, a little bit less hard, and then we go up to here where we're kind of like doing our stories on a mass production level, but we still need to do it with other people. And these are, for example, monks copying the Bible or whatever book this is. I'm going to assume it's the Bible. I don't know. It has monks in it. But, you know, like, for us to continue to share the stories, we want to now share the stories of our ancestors with a whole bunch of other people, and the art got spread that way as well, right? We would have to copy it and so on and so forth. So the master book here would be on the right, and then everybody else had to copy what was being done, right? And that's how we would distribute our stories, our art, and so on and so forth, is copy pasta, just with human form. But again, this was super time consuming. People had to like be professionals at this and making sure they read Latin or English or so on and so forth. It took so long. Until when? Until, well, we need to do it quicker. The world is growing. So how can we mass produce these books that the monks are copying, our stories, our art pieces, so on and so forth, but do it on a mass scale with literally a lot less people? I don't know what if you guys know what this is, but it's called the printing press, right? You would make a metal, it wouldn't be a jig, but it would be like a metal plate with what you want onto the pages, and you would dip it into ink and press it on the paper, dip it into ink, press on paper, so on and so forth, right? So as you see, throughout history, we were doing whatever we could to tell our stories, to share our art more easily, but more efficiently. And I'm in the personal opinion, because we did this in a way where it takes a lot less time, we evolved to do it. Well, we evolved to be a lot more lazy. For the most part, a lot of us grew up playing with crayons, right? But those people that are playing with crayons aren't playing with crayons for the most part today. What are they using? They're using drawing tablets. Why are they using drawing tablets? It's easier. Right? And because we don't have to go out to the store, we don't have to pick up the Crayolas, we don't have to mix paints, we don't have to do this, we don't have to do that. It's all click of the button, which again, makes our life easier. AI is kind of like the same thing. AI is just another evolution of, well, we're now in the age of digital art, right? And let's be honest, this was what, like 5,000 years ago? Like in history for any species, this is pretty quick. So the fact that and like I said, this was supposed to be like a YouTube video with me having it more well thought out and a script. I was actually going to write a script for this one. But again, everything that we've done in our human evolution was ways to make things easier. So we didn't have to put as much effort, as much time. Same thing with using a spear. We went to bow and arrow. We went to a firearm. We're going to well, we're going to lasers now. right? But we're making so much progress because we want to make our lives easier, right? AI is just another step of that. It really is. It truly is. And now some of you guys were mentioning AI will take away jobs, but more jobs will be made. Just like how the printing press came in and took away all the jobs of the monks. The monks, had to eventually be trained to use the printing press, but eventually monks stopped using the printing press. Right? Every type of evolution we did, people lost jobs. That was just a thing. I have not, Chew. I have not. And that's kind of the way we're going with entertainment, right? So we're using AI art to make VTubing assets. And if you guys love it or hate it, whatever, there's positives and negatives for each of the argument. Positives for in favor for, and negatives for, against it. That's not what we're going to talk about. That's completely invalid. I don't really care to deep dive into that particular thing. But us as a human species, out of our own curiosity, we've been getting a little bit more lazy. Like when you guys go onto Twitter, for example, what do you guys typically see from small VTubers? Oh, I spend 7 days a week streaming. And I don't get more than like 2 viewers. Oh, how am I going to compete with this person with that? Well, how am I going to do this and that? I don't have the talking skills. I don't have the computer. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have whatever excuse in the book they use. Right? We see these excuses every day on Twitter. We really do. I see them every day in my comments. I see them in Discord sometimes. Drives me crazy, but we do see it. So if you could make an avatar, even AI generated, which is going to happen sooner or later, right? Like, and I'm talking like bones added, 100%, no different than like a human making it. Make them stream, right? You make them stream. You maybe if we could get advanced enough, copy our personality onto the AI. Maybe. Or we put in the parameters that we want. Maybe. But you maybe make them, or you make them do all the work. And what do you have to do? At the end of the day, what do you have to do? Collect profits. Right? And that's essentially what's happening with the particular AI VTuber that's existing right now. Currently, I think they're still banned. Maybe. I think it was like a 2-week ban or something. Again, I don't care what they said or what they did. That's not the point of this discussion. But because this particular person didn't have time to stream, didn't want to stream, blah, 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 they made something that would do it for them, and they've been getting a lot of revenue out of it. And I think this is where it's going to go for people in the future. I think, personally, we are going to see an AI agency. But, like, why is AI VTubers better than regular VTubers? Because they never have to rest? Actually, it's a lot more simple than that. A lot more simple than that. It's the things that I preach to you guys about almost every single week. Right? They talk to their chat. They are always talking. Honestly, they are always talking to their chat. They really are. They not only talk to their chat, I got to figure out how to spell this word properly. Oh, I did spell it right. Okay. They articulate things a lot better than, well, one, me. But they're able to talk to the chat in a way that makes sense. Where, like, someone like me, for example, I go on tangents. Sometimes you guys don't understand where I'm coming from. You're confused, whatever. But they're able to form a thought better than 99% of Twitch. They are doing something that's new and different. I think that's a big one. Because as more AIs come to platforms, the more it won't be cool, the more it will be just normal, and the less and less chatters they're going to get. But there is a downside to it. There is a downside. And I think this is a loophole that Twitch is going to close. And this is something you guys got to think about. Imagine if Teslas could actually, like, properly drive by themselves. Think about it. Just tinfoil hat, everybody. Grab your tinfoil hats, put them on. Just put them on for a second for me. If a Tesla could actually drive itself without problems, without hitting pedestrians, without, not crashing or blowing up or whatever, let's assume that. Somebody rented out their Tesla as a taxi. The Tesla became a taxi, an Uber, right? And something happened. Would it be the Tesla's fault or the owner's fault? A lot of people would say the Tesla. And the Tesla's making all the money, and the owner staying at home collecting it. Right? That's kind of in the courts at the moment. Exactly. We don't know who would actually be at fault at the end of the day. We don't. We really don't. This is what I think it's going to happen on Twitch. Again, tinfoil hat. But I think Twitch will change their... I don't think they're going to change the terms of service. Because, like... they might change their TOS. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's say they change the TOS. That only people who are running, I can't spell, and an AI can spell way better than I can, who are running the avatar will be like a VTuber, will be entitled to collect revenue. Because currently, at this time, machines cannot file taxes, earn money, unless they're Bitcoin or whatever. I'm talking like straight up AI interacting with you, giving you the waifu experience. And for the most part, doesn't have rights. So I think eventually Twitch will have to do something. It's not even necessarily a downside, let's be honest. But they will have to do something to prevent it, because now we've had what? 2 cases of an AI happening. One was that one person that was banned, and the other one was based off Maury Calliope. We're not even supposed to leave our streams unattended. I'm surprised they're not nipping this clear violation in the butt. I agree. Yeah. But was it left unattended? We don't know. For all we know, the guy could have been there in the background. We have no idea. We'll have no idea if that person goes to sleep. We don't know if that guy went to the grocery store. We don't know if it's even the owner actually type in. And this is the thing, though. We don't even know if it would be the owner actually typing on the account, or is it like choose stating, like giving commands and so on and so forth in chat. How do we know it's the owner of the AI actually doing that? Or is it a friend, family member? How do we know? We don't. But because this AI could stream a lot better than the person that made it, and is way more entertaining than the person that made it, probably, I'm not going to say like the person that made it is a complete boring person. I don't know them. But it's probably a safe bet that they are. Let's be honest. They could be a famous Twitch streamer and not really having to do a whole much other than the initial programming and changing updates and giving updates here and there. But I think a lot of our entertainment is going to eventually shift this way. Just like how a lot of, and I know artists will absolutely hate me for this, but I think a lot of AI art is going to start going that way as well. Eventually. Courts will try to block it, and they will probably block it for some time. But eventually, as newer generations grow up and start taking offices and so on and so forth, the more and more these things will be more accepted and normalized in life, right? Imagine you can have a famous AI, but you didn't have to pay them as much as you would as a human. You could have that AI look-alike of Arnold Schwarzenegger do 20 movies. They never get tired. They never need to eat. They never have to have a day off. They just work. I truly think AI will be the future, and I think we're going to see it in the live streaming sphere before we see it in Hollywood, which is what we're seeing now. We're seeing it in Hollywood like they're doing de-aging and so on and so forth. We don't really see actors being 100% computer controlled. Game devs will use that whenever they can to save time and resources. Yeah. We'll learn games like human and play it on stream. Yeah. I think that would happen. I've written an art model. People have the misconception that AI steals art, but it doesn't. We don't. For all we know, this is just me. As far as I know, they just take images or inspiration from Google and they add their own twists to it. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to speak on that too much because, again, tinfoil hats for the most part. But just like I stated in the beginning, it's an evolution to make our life easier. And that's why I think it eventually will take over. I'm hoping not while we're still alive. But I would like to hear your guys' thoughts. With or without your tinfoil hats. Would that negate people who want to learn about VTubing? Well, yeah, just like everything in history, right? How many people do you see nowadays that want to use this chisel and a hammer and want to put words or stories into a rock? How many people do you know, or even in the world, want to learn on how to use a printing press? Right now, how do we like, if we wanted something on a piece of paper, if we wanted to write something, we got two options. One, we could pull out our pen. God, I wish I had hands and props because I'm doing this right now. I really am. I picked up a pen and I'm shaking, and I wish you guys could see this. But like, you could either pick up a pen, right? And use that pen and physically write down those words onto a piece of paper. We could. Or we could do what literally everybody else does in the world, even elementary schools, FYI, at least here in Canada. I'm not 100% sure in the States, but they don't even teach handwriting much anymore. They teach kids on how to use keyboards. So they teach kids how to use keyboards. They rely on Microsoft Word for like any and all spell corrections. And if they need a physical document, they use a printer, which is basically a small printing press, and it's out of the printer in what, 4 seconds? Maybe 10 if you're using an inkjet. Right? Also, cursive is dead writing form. My siblings can't read what I write in cursive. Exactly. Because we went to typing. We went to typing. Why? Because writing down with a pen in cursive takes longer. So in our evolution of being lazy, we went to something that's quicker. Oh, and we're not even done with that evolution, chat. We're not even done with that evolution. We're not. We're not done at typing. We're totally not done with typing. Or actually, we are totally done with typing. Because now what do our phones come with? Now what do our computers come with? Text to speech. So we don't even have to type it anymore. We can be like, hey, whatever device, and you just say what you want it to write. You don't even have to hit the send button. You don't have to move your thumb an inch over or half an inch or even a few centimeters. You tell it to send and it just sends it off for you. Because it's easier and quicker and we're lazy. I swear to God, if we lost power tomorrow around the world, everybody would be screwed. We do need to accept it instead of fearing it, but we also need to find ways for our professions to adapt. Right? I know there's a lot of artists that are super scared about AI. Right? Because of our evolution of laziness. But like I've said in previous streams, is there a way that artists could use it to assist them or something? This is not far from the future, but models like Chat GPT that connects to your VTuber model are still fine-tuned and always updated. I gotta look up Chat GPT. I haven't heard of that one. There's so many apps for VTubers now. It's absolutely bonkers. It is hard to keep up with everything that's coming out lately. I swear to God, I pick my nose and there's a new VTubing app out. No, Zealous, I haven't. That's in the news for like 1 to 2 months. You know what I consume? Not the news. I literally watch videos on YouTube about people making cool custom fish tanks, or stuff like that. That's literally what I watch on YouTube. I avoid the news. Lewis, thank you so much for donating $20 for the Starlight Foundation. I appreciate it. Starlight Foundation, as in the one that helps kids that have diseases and so on and so forth, medical conditions that they can't get up and you know, own their own Xbox. So the Starlight Foundation basically buys gaming equipment for kids and lets them have it while they're in care. I believe Starlight said something. Just there's art databases used to build the AI. I won't get it here, but it's definitely a major component there. Gotcha. But the other, I wanted to say the other day, but like I think Vesa made like a VTuber Senpai female model with AI art way back when. And it was pretty cool and pretty accurate. And it's like, I'm getting a model commissioned like just like that. Procedural textures for AI. Yeah, you guys are way beyond me. I have no idea what you guys are talking about now. I use AI generated human headshots and generate the AI to generate 3D versions of that AI and okay. Child's Play does the same as Starlight then. Yes. But yeah, that's why I think AI VTubers are going to eventually take over, because we suck as content creators. We really do. And we're lazy and we don't want to learn, and we want to blame female avatars and models and bobas and everything else. I wonder if an AI can generate pictures based on MC. Oh, definitely Hyper Dolphin. Yeah. I don't think it's about people liking the content or not liking the content. It's just a polarizing content that you or subject you got to really like tread lightly on. I know there was somebody, I believe they were mad because like they thought we were okay with AIR. It's like, well, no, we just have a discussion about it. AIs always eventually get lobotomized by the creators because the people will use the AI in ways that the creator doesn't like. As an end result, the AI becomes very boring and repetitive. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's hope that's what they do. The fact, I had to think about that one a little bit, because like the fact that the creators have to lobotomize it tells you something. More likely corporate from will use this again for viewer interaction. Oh, probably. Have you guys watched that VTuber AI? I have no idea why your phone's struggling. I'm sorry. Actually, they even have a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel with 3 million subscribers on it, by the way. I know humans are lazy, but what about just the joy of making stuff? Wanting to be the one in charge of a script or story, etc. I hope people still want to make things. Okay. Starly actually brought up a cool and really good thing. Let's go back to the whiteboard. Or blackboard, whatever color board we have here. I'm not too sure what color it is. I think it's white. No, wait. Is it gray? Maybe it's gray. Okay. So I didn't copy the I. Sorry. Okay. I know humans are lazy, but what about just the joy of making stuff? So let's separate that. Wanting to be in charge of a script or story, etc. I hope people so want to make things for themselves in the far future. I hope so too. I really do. I really do. The problem is, and this is, and chat, let's avoid any kind of like political talk, stuff like that, so on and so forth, please. But what's actually happening, for the most part, when do we usually have the joy of making stuff? Right? Usually before school. Right? We'll experiment. We'll plug a fork into a wall socket. We have our curiosity mostly before we're in school. For the most part. We'll color. We'll make cool shapes. We'll like, I can only speak from a boy's point of view, but like, we'll smack each other in the head with like frying pans. We'll build something out of sand. We'll build something out of Lego. We'll build something with 2 chairs and a blanket. We'll grab a whole bunch of forks and make it into like an army, right? That's when our most creativeness is happening, is usually before school. Once you're in school, what does school really teach you? Well, to follow rules, do what everyone else is doing, right? You do anything different, it's weird, right? Like back in my day, and I know I'm like dating myself, but anime, drawing anime, watching anime, talking about anime, so on and so forth, it was weird. You were the weirdo. You were the people that were shunned, that you ate at a particular table and nobody sat with you. Nobody was around you. You had like an invisible force field. Those kids were like quarantined for the most part, right? They really were. I say were because it's not much these days. I was totally born in the wrong generation. My God, I was born in the wrong generation. But school teaches us to do what everybody else is doing, and anything else is not acceptable, right? So we got that, but what else is the problem with school? Well, and chat, this is me, just my personal thoughts, my personal opinions on this whole creativity thing and making stuff and so on and so forth. But when you're in school nowadays, like back when I was in school, you could join a wood shop. I did drafting for all of high school, all 5 years. Right? And that's architecture. That's drawing plans for houses, apartment buildings, or cool statues or whatever, right? Metal shop. They had the cooking. They had what's the one with the clothing you sew? What's the one you use? Home economics. Right? You guys get the idea, right? For the most part, we all probably did this. You know, you had art class and so on and so forth, right? You had different things to be creative in. But, huge but here, if you were in these classes, you had to do what everyone else did. So if everybody was making a birdhouse in wood shop, you had to make a birdhouse too. If you wanted to make a birdhouse that had a porch, wasn't allowed. If you wanted to make a birdhouse that had a steel fence, you couldn't do it. If you wanted a birdhouse with some electricity in it, you were crazy because they thought you were going to catch the birds on fire. The only difference was color. Exactly. So what happened is current society, current education, so on and so forth. Again, this is me, my personal opinion. But we took away our creativity. We took away our joy of making stuff because we've taught a lot of our kids and so on and so forth that we have to do what everybody else is doing. Right? We can't go away from what the group is doing. And that's something that we see in VTubing these days. I'm going on a tangent. I'm very sorry, but it's very much relatable. How's VTubing involved in all this? Because honestly, we're honestly like a VTubing channel. We talk about VTubing education, so on and so forth, right? Or VTubing education. But one thing I've noticed is you have to do what everybody else is doing. So if you're interested in VTubing, if you're slightly interested, you know what you have to do next? You have to stream. And that's been programmed into us because if you were in wood shop and somebody wanted to be, or you had to make the birdhouse, everybody had to make the birdhouse. If you wanted to be a VTuber, or you had just interest in VTubing or watching a VTuber, well, now you have to become a VTuber and you have to do it like everybody else. And that's the problem that we have currently today on this amazing platform called Twitch. Because we program society and our students, our kids, our children, and schools taught us this, but if one person's playing Grand Theft Auto, we all have to play Grand Theft Auto. We all have to be streamers of Grand Theft Auto. Right? Another good example, Minecraft. Low to high. Look at, like, and we've done this before, where there's hundreds of thousands of people in the 1 to 2 to 3 viewer range. We're all doing the same thing. We just don't play the game just to enjoy it. We play the game because we all want to be a streamer. We all want to do what everybody else is doing. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was playing Escape from Tarkov way back in the day when I first started to stream, and I was playing with my friends, this particular game right here, one of the first things my friends asked me at the time was, yo, Senpai, not going to use my real name, but why don't you stream it? And that's the thing. We can't even just enjoy games now. We always have to have the thought in the back of our head, oh, we got to stream it because everybody else is streaming it. And that's how we get rich. That's how we get famous. That's how we make money, because we don't want to go out anymore and get real jobs. We want to do it from home, in the comfort of our home. We don't want to go out and bend steel, rebar, dig ditches, and so on and so forth. We want the easy, cozy job. And this is coming from a VTuber. I know the irony in this. I do. But we train ourselves, and society has trained us to go down this route. And the only time people are at the very top is when they do something just a tiny little bit different than everybody else. And then a whole bunch of other people try to copy that person that did it first. People think popular equals tons of views for them, but there's a bazillion other people thinking the exact same. Yeah, exactly. So I know this is a bit of a tangent, and like we went like way off the AI ride. But like unfortunately this is where I think we've kind of went in life. So the joy of making stuff, I think, has been kind of like sucked out of us for the most part. And this is another thing that I heard a lot of. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna drop an IRL bomb on you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys something personal. So I told my family. I'll do this another paragraph here. So I told my family I started a YouTube channel. Right? And you guys know that this channel, for the most part, like 99% of it, is out of passion because I have fun doing it. But what does the family ask? They don't ask, are you having fun with it? Are you any problems? So on and so forth. It's about revenue. And Starlight, I'm curious if this happens to you too with your art, or any artist or anybody here. But anytime you do a hobby, what do your friends say? What does your family say? And a lot of times when I talk to people about it, it's always comes down to what their peers are saying or asking them is, how much are you making? Because we have to monetize everything we do nowadays. Right? I'm going to use Lewis Waff as an example, or Lewis Lutz. Sorry, not Lewis Waff. Lewis Lutz, right? Lewis Lutz loves buying Pokemon. If you guys have ever spoken to Lewis about anything, he will talk your ear off about Pokemon. Your favorite type of Pokemon, how much he paid for his box of whatnot, so on and so forth, right? And I know his family asks him all the time, how much are you making off this? Which changed his mindset a really, like, honestly, he went from a collecting mindset for himself, and I don't even think he's realized this yet, and I'm sorry to drop this truth bomb on you, buddy, if you're watching this right now, but he went from the collecting mindset for collecting for himself, for like a hobby, for a passion, for a joy, to now thinking about selling and turning his hobby into a home business. You are that bad, Lewis. You are. You don't see it. I'm pointing it out, but you are. And that's because of what happened here after school. So I think personally, we don't have the joy of making stuff because when we do have a joy, someone comes around and kind of like pokes at it and takes it away a little bit, if that makes sense. And it's something I hear often. How much you making? Is it making rent yet? Is it going to pay all your bills yet? Yada da da da. Nothing's about passion. Now, wanting to be the one in charge of a script or story, etc., I hope people still want to make things for themselves in the far future. I really hope people still want to eventually one day. I really do. I really, really do. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, though. Stories these days. The problem with stories in today's world, and again, this is me, my tinfoil hat, me, myself, and I, but most of our new stories that exist today is always, for the most part, there's always exceptions. There's always exceptions. But our new stories that exist today is always, for the most part, and if you guys think I'm wrong, how many reboots of your favorite childhood shows have you seen? We have Velma right now that's apparently bombing. I haven't seen any of it. Nobody spoil anything because I want to go into that train wreck. Game of Thrones, right? Now we have to go back in time, but we still have to base it off the IP. The Witcher on Netflix. We can't just have Henry Cavill anymore. Now we have to go 1,000 years before. Lord of the Rings, right? We had to borrow assets from Tolkien's universe and make another show, and apparently that show bombed, right? Short Circuit's going to be remade. That was like a super old 80s movie. Wednesday was actually a good one. I actually liked Wednesday, right? All the comics, exactly. Everything that you see on Marvel nowadays, like being produced by Disney, for the most part, is what? All the Marvel stuff is based off the comics. Yeah, they're remaking Short Circuit. I know. I'm not very happy about that, but it's what they're doing. But like that, but that's where we're coming to these days. We're recycling stories. We're recycling everything that we do. Nobody has an original thought. They go off, well, this worked in the past. It's what's going to work in the future. Is it a bad thing? Yeah, I think so. Hell, they're even remaking Batteries Not Included, chat. And I don't know about you guys, I have a lot of fond memories with that movie. I think it boils down to money. People often can't make money doing the things they love, and creativity has been strained because of it. Oh, definitely. Just look at self-improvement business. They all talk about the same life stories. Exactly. Anime is notorious for it. Every season, just the same formula for the last decade and a half. That one I'm not too sure about, but I could probably agree. Totally forgot Batteries Not Included was a thing. Yeah, I'm 3D printing the whole family from Batteries Not Included. Even if you had an original story, it's already been told most likely, but it's supposed to be more about the creative on your own. Yeah, I agree. But people's original creative stuff usually have things / items that are pulled from other stories. Anime is way more unique than Western media. It's been getting caught up in its own repetition. Ah, okay. Formula for stories always made money. Production media won't. Well, the formula for stories wasn't always about money. So, like in the beginning of the stream, I showed you guys the caveman, right? We went from caveman to ancient Egypt to the monks, right? At the particular time when the monks were making those books, copies of the books, they weren't really into selling the books. They were just more of spreading the word, spreading the story. Eventually, those books were sold for money and so on and so forth. And then when the printing press came in, where we can make mass duplicates of these things, then definitely turned into money. I don't think AI VTubers are going to be a thing. If anyone has ever spent time with a customer service AI, you know it's a total pain. Okay. Fantastic thing somebody just said. I don't want to say your name wrong. I'm just going to call you Uwu. But Uwu said something fantastic. I think this is going to be complete opposite. I don't know about you guys, but have you guys worked in retail before? Customers are a pain. Right? I worked in customer service. I worked in the IT industry for like a decade. I like fixing people's computers, servers, so on and so forth. Customers are super demanding, super hard to deal with, pains in the butts. And guess what? If you could make a robot deal with them instead of like an actual human, you do it. You really do it. That's why we outsource a lot of our jobs to different third world countries, because we don't want to do it ourselves. Because it's too bloody annoying. Well, that and it's cheaper, but it's too bloody annoying. If I could put off a problem customer onto a robot, I would do it every day of the week. I really would. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There's been times where I looked for an application that would just auto respond to the exact same questions that people ask in Discord. Because there are always people that ask the exact same question. And my God, I'm tired of saying it a million times, typing it out a million times. I know my mods are. I haven't been typing it out a million times as of late because, you know, I got other people to do that. But like honestly, would have been ideal. Last time I contacted my ISP, customer service AI, went into dialogue loop. Oh God, that must have been horrible. No, well, not necessarily like a chat bot. I already have a chat bot, but like a Discord bot that would auto recognize questions and automatically just like provide the link to that common ask question. Yeah, FAQ bot. Yeah. How am I supposed to have a parasocial relationship with an AI? Oh, okay. Lucius, you need to watch the movie Her. Literally, that's the movie title. Her. You'll know the cover because there's a white dude with a mustache on it. Watch that. But Lucius actually asks a very good question. How am I supposed to have a parasocial relationship with an AI if there's no illusion of hope of me meeting them in real life? And that's actually something that we have in the VTubing community today. Right? We have people that are massive fans of VTubing streamers who want to meet the streamer one day, for the most part, but because of how VTubing is in Western countries, it's starting to change a little bit, but mostly in Eastern countries, you never want to meet the person behind the avatar, right? Typically. Again, Western, we're changing that a little bit. It's not a chance of no hope. It's the chance of, how do I put this? A perfect image of that person never changing. Which at the end of the time, or at the end of the day, because, like, let's be honest, our avatars never age, they never die, unless the person behind the avatar dies, then the avatar's pretty well dead. But, and knock on wood, that doesn't happen to anybody. But, like, honestly, realistically, the perfect image of that streamer or that VTuber never really goes away. Only watch VTubers for their genuine reactions on things. Sure, a lot of them play a character, but your reactions, jump scares, or major plot events can be replaced with AI. Yet. I truly hope like AI doesn't like get as evolved in our, at least in our generations. You know, 100, 200 years down the road, I don't care at that point. But right now, we have a massive parasocial relationship with content creators. We all know in the back of our head that we'll never meet Alinity or Amaranth or whatever, but we'll still show up to their streams every single day of the week, donate hundreds or thousands of dollars. Or some people do. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying like some people that are super into that. In hopes that person will notice them and so on and so forth. Same thing happens with VTubers. It's creating a relationship that exists mostly in their head. The novelty AI experience is still a major draw that tons of VTubers and content creators aren't capable yet. Yeah. I highly doubt it. Emotions are complex. At the moment, AI can express an emotion. The moment species are screwed. Well, yeah. Yeah, well, that's what we call Cylons at that point. There's a guy on TikTok using AI. They programmed a waifu that responds to them using AI art and chat GPT. Yeah, right now, like, again, past what, 100 years, somebody mentioned, I think Zealous mentioned, like, we've evolved quite a bit. And let's be honest, last 20 years with internet and technology and so on and so forth, we've changed a lot. Right? When I was growing up, if you want to be on the internet, you had to take up the phone line, which means you couldn't call your friend, or your family member couldn't call you, or you couldn't call a family member. If somebody was on the internet at that time, your phone line was like pretty much tied up. And now we have internet that we can do almost literally everything on. Back in the day, it was very limited. You had very few websites. If you wanted to, back in the day, if you wanted, and this was like before YouTube was a thing. And when I say this particular application, I'll be able to tell the really old people in chat and the young kids, you guys won't know what this is. But before YouTube, if we wanted to like watch anything, we pretty much had to download it. Right? And there was 2 sites or 2 applications that you had to use to download. Kazaa and BearShare. Yeah, WinMax was another one too. I recently moved. Internet guy came over, installed the router, told him where I want it because I put my desk right next to the cable outlet. He's like, it doesn't work like that anymore. Yeah, exactly. Nope, Desmond, it was before MySpace. Way before MySpace. Right? Way before. You guys know. I think Kazaa actually had another A in it. Something like that. Yeah, LimeWire was another one. LimeWire was after Kazaa and BearShare, but yeah, LimeWire was another one. I think AI streamers can be their own thing, but I don't think they'll replace human streamers, VTubers included. Back in the 50s, people thought TV dinner would replace restaurants. Okay. So, okay. Ooh, I want to go with that thought. I really want to go with that thought. So, okay. So we went from cooking at home to TV dinners, right? Which did really significantly speed up time. And at the time in like TV dinners came out, a lot of people did use them. like a mass amount of the population so went from cooking at home to TV dinners, like massive amount, right? And we went from TV dinners because remember, cooking at home took a long time, right? Let's say 2 hours to cook a meal at home. TV dinners went to 10 minutes, right? Both of these stages required human interaction, required us to do something. Okay? And then fast food came out. And at that time, we just went to the fast food place, ordered, ate our food at the fast food place. Like we all went to McDonald's. We all went and played on their old N64 controllers and systems and whatnot. We used to do that, right? We used to go to McDonald's. We used to go into the playpen. We used to eat their pizza and so on and so forth. Right. But our evolution's still not done yet. So we went from cooking at home to TV dinners to fast food, right? And fast food took too long, right? Even though it was like less than 5 minutes for the most part. But notice there's a decrease of time. But all this required all of our interaction. It required us to do something. And now what do we do? What's the next evolution after fast food? Does anybody know what it is? We're currently in this particular evolution of fast food. Exactly. Fast food. So now we just have to literally put into an app saying we want this. We no longer go to the grocery stores to pick up the stuff we have to cook at home that takes 2 hours. We no longer have to go to the grocery stores to pick up the TV dinner. We no longer have to go to McDonald's to pick up our food. Now we go and we say, hey, Joe Blow from Kokomo, I want you to pick up my food for me and bring it, and I'm going to eat in my house. And this takes, what, 30 seconds? How do we go back to delivering ingredients to cook? Amanda, fantastic question. I don't think so. People do that, but it's not as popular. It's actually a very small percentage versus that. Right? Like, I think it's like 1% of deliveries, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. Please correct me if you know better. Like, please correct me. Because I do not admit, or I don't mind admitting that I'm wrong in this particular topic because I don't know enough. But like, not everybody goes for ingredients nowadays. Why though? Why does nobody really, like a very small percentage of the human population? Wow, we are like really going like third world, not third world, but like tinfoil hat deep here. We really are. But why are people not ordering groceries? People are, a small, very small subset of people. They rather order the fast food though. But why are we not ordering groceries? It's convenient. We don't have to do anything. Oh, me too. I I'll go to the market and buy ingredients, but why don't we just order it like we do for Skip the Dishes, Grubhub, or Uber Eats? Ordering good food, we have to cook. And there's a reason. It's not because nobody knows how to cook anymore. You can find recipes online in less than 30 seconds. And fairly good recipes. Actually, really good recipes. It's not that. That's what it is. It's way more expensive, like, to get really good fresh produce. Right? If you guys want like good vegetables, so on and so forth, they're way more expensive than well, in the past, what, 5-6 years, fruits and vegetables have skyrocketed in price. They're way more expensive than they ever have been in recent human history. Rice and broccoli, I would agree. Rice and broccoli is delicious, but people want more. There are times when you want food and fine with taking a few hours to make it versus demand in 20 minutes. Yeah. But the problem is the people are fine, that are fine making the food themselves, taking a few hours to do it, is dwindling every day. It really is, because we've turned, again, this goes back to like the beginning of the stream when I was talking about the evolution of art and how we're been getting more lazy as a society. What country do you live in, Uwu? I would love to move there, because my God, just Canada, we're pretty expensive, at least in my city. God damn. But like truly, it's just too expensive to go to the grocery store. At least in North America, Western society. I don't want to speak for like other parts of the world because I don't know. Southeast Asia. Okay, fair enough. Right? Like, and that's another thing I consume a lot on YouTube is like people going to like vending machines in Japan. Food in Japan seems like way cheaper than North America. Like way cheaper. But I believe people eat out more. I think that's what I heard on that documentary I watched about Japan. People prefer to go out and eat or go to like 7-Eleven or going to vending machines than actually cooking at home nowadays. So it seems like even Japan's making that shift eventually. It's not like every day or everyone has their own space to grow their own fruits and vegetables. Well, that's again, that's an evolution in farming, right? So I'm hoping I'm showing you guys how lazy we are as a species. I truly hope. But we went from farming our own food, right? We did. For the most part. Or if we didn't have that food, we would trade it with our neighbor. Right? If we needed more wheat and we had a lot of rice and they needed rice and we needed wheat, we would do a trade. Back in the day, way back when, we would farm everything of our own. Right? And then when we had excess, we would just sell it at the local market. We would totally sell it at the market. But then people started going to cities, and this is kind of like ancient Egypt era to Roman era, so on and so forth. But we saw from owning farmland and making our own fruits and vegetables and growing them and all that fun jazz to going to market and picking it up out of convenience because it was easier. We didn't have to have our hands in the dirt. We didn't have to like pick out the carrots and pick the apples off the tree. Other people did that and we just paid it because it was convenient. And nowadays, where we're currently in this particular society, half the kids don't know if a particular vegetable is either grown from the ground or off a vine or a tree. And I will admit, I have been guilty of that myself. Even very recently, I've been very guilty of that. Or from a lab, sure. But like, honestly, like there are so many people out there that don't know that particular vegetables grow on the ground, on a vine, or even in a tree. Or fruits or whatnot. Some think carrots are corn, yeah. School pizzas are considered vegetables? That's interesting. So again, it's an evolution of laziness. Wally's coming true? Pretty well, yeah. Pretty well, I'm thinking Wally's coming true. It's sad, but again, it's the evolution of our species. Anything to save time, convenience, right? Give us time to do other things. Actually, I wonder if I could find it. Washing machine. Advertising? What was it? Oh, God, it was, oh, I wish I saved it. There was a very good one about a wash machine. Where a cowboy was approaching someone, asking them what that device was, and the salesman was like, it's a washing machine, and you could wash your clothes and whatnot, and the cowboy was like, well, what would I do with the free time? And the salesman was like, well, you can go to the cinema, you can go plow, do this, do that, and literally it was sold as a time saver. I'm never gonna find it. If I see it, I'll link it in Discord. I switched entirely plant-based diet. I feel bad for you. But hey, good for you. Good for you. But yeah, for the most part, Wall-E is coming true. I mean, like, there's a part of New York that was built on garbage or something. Was that a TV show? Lewis, you know what I'm talking about then. Is this Staten Island? Yeah, maybe. Oh, now Luce is going to make me look for it. Oh, where did I see it? Nah, I shouldn't do this on stream right now. I'm never going to find it. Hey, Lawnmower Girl, how you doing? Oh, you saw it on Facebook. Okay, I definitely won't find it again then. Wow, I've been watching a lot of Attack on Titan things. And Star Wars. I am good, yes. Thank you for asking. But yes, at the end of the day, I think AI VTubers will take over to a degree. And we'll have to just get used to it and adapt and become their slaves. But you know what I would actually like? I think a lot of content creators would start using it. And we do have it to a limited degree, but like an AI editor. An AI that would edit your VODs for you, determine what they think or what it thinks would be like good content, and then publishing that content automatically. Not yet, Andrea, no. Sounds good, Vessa. That's a thing? To some extent. Yeah, to some extent. Become their slaves or house cats? Both. Fuji's autoclip tool? Yeah, Twitch had an autoclip tool for a little bit too. But I'm hoping I gave you guys a lot to think about today as well. Question, I know you were talking about AI VTubers, but why do you have Niji Sanji for the hashtag on this live stream? Oh, crap. Do I really? Oh, I do. Thank you for letting me know. So the reason for that, on YouTube, you, what's the word? So to schedule a stream, you could either schedule it and make it all from scratch, or you can grab it from your last stream's presets. And what I did was just grab the last stream's presets, change the banner, and so on and so forth. So it's been like that for since we did that Niji Sanji stream a week ago. Though we are going to do a Niji Sanji stream talking about Niji Sanji and auditions and so on and so forth on Monday, because a lot of people in the community have been driving me absolutely bonkers with their apps. I'm seeing a lot of the same mistakes over and over, and I'm really hoping I could point a lot of you into the right direction and hopefully help you guys fix this. So we're going to cover a lot of commonly asked questions on Monday. We're going to cover a lot of common mistakes I've been seeing on apps, on auditions, posting the audition videos. Yeah, posting them publicly. That's been another one too. I caught a student do that. I'm like, why is this public? And they're like, oh, I thought it didn't matter if I'm sharing it with friends. I'm like, no, don't do that. Well, the one I'm sending to Niji is private. And I'm like, that doesn't matter. They don't want your audition video out there. You pretty much shot yourself in the foot. Delete it. So, yeah. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff on Monday, because you guys have been driving me crazy. And Rayla sent in a lot of good ones too that he's been experiencing. So you're going to get the lore cat in me. But chat, we're going to call it there for tonight's stream. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on social media, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff is in the description down below. That's the Discord link about to appear. Chat has not been working on the stream this entire time, and I just noticed. I need an AI to take over my job. It can do it better than I can. I can admit it. Have an amazing weekend, everybody. I love you all. I will see you all on Monday talking about your Niji Sanji auditions. And I will catch you all in the next one. Have an amazing weekend. Goodbye, everybody.